Hey, Coach Cruisers, how's it going? I am Brad. I'm the host of Coach Cruise, and anyway, I would like to invite you to have a little fun with me today. Although we're going to go to the dark side. This is going to be a two-part video, and regrettably, we're going to start off because I like to get the bad news out of the way first. And it's not all necessarily bad news. I want to start off with that, but I have concerns. I have concerns about cruising this summer, and I'm going to be cruising on two ships, but I'm going to be doing a back-to-back on both of them. I'm going to be going on the Carnival Mardi Gras, and I'm going to be going on the Carnival Horizon. I'm going to share my 5 biggest concerns I have with cruising this summer, and I'm curious if those concerns align with concerns you may have about cruising this summer. And so let's find out what those are right after this.
I just can't get away from a good time.
Okay, so we are almost an entire year returning from cruising, coming back. After the pandemic, cruises started July of last year of 2021, and we are on the brink of July again, 2022. So we have gone almost a full year, and thankfully there's been no stops in cruising. We've gone away from mask, we've gone back to mask, we've gone away from mask, and now there's a few ships going back to mask. We started out cruising with 50% capacity, 60% capacity, 75% capacity, and now a lot of ships 100% capacity. And you guessed it, that is my first concern. One of the best things about returning after the pandemic was ships going out with less than full capacity, and the lines were short, and it seemed like the ship, there was no wait for anything. It was wonderful. It was wonderful, right? The service was quicker, everything else like that. But now we have ships going out that are full, 100% capacity. In fact, sometimes they're being oversold. Our brother channel, Island Time, Derek reported that they were more than 100% capacity. And what that, you might say, how can it be more than 100% capacity? What that means is there are more than 2 people per room on average on the Carnival Dream. They're going to be getting off the Carnival Dream after an 8-day cruise. This is being filmed. What's today? The 11th of June. Okay, so they'll be getting off tomorrow, the 12th. And anyway, over 100% capacity. So how is that going to look? Is that going to delay things? Is that going to hinder service? So that is one of my first and one of my top 5 concerns, without a doubt. So let's get on to my second big concern. Okay, so my second big concern goes right along with the first concern, and that is a shortage of staff, not just with Carnival, but the entire cruise line industry is having a problem with staffing their ships. Now, all of that is not to blame, for the cruise industry themselves. The United States is severely behind in processing visas and things like that, which is preventing a lot of these ships from being fully staffed and giving the service that we all hope that we can get. So, although it's not, Carnival's fault, it's not Royal Caribbean's fault, it's not Norwegian's fault or any other, cruise line, there is a shortage of staff. Now, combine that with the fact that many of these ships are going out with 100% capacity. I've been following, as I mentioned just in the last segment, I've been following Island Time, Derek, Amanda, Charles, Rachel, Mike, Michelle, on their adventures this week and living vicariously through them. And I gotta be honest, they didn't help my concern. They talked about the steakhouse, for example, and how they waited 3.5 hours almost to, have a meal in the steakhouse. Now, granted, when you go to a steakhouse, you don't want it to be a 15, 20-minute thing. Wham, bam, you're in, you're out. You know, you want to savor, you want to enjoy, you want to, you know, talk with each other and enjoy the experience. But 3.5 hours? And, you know, so obviously they were very disappointed with that. And then when you get service and it takes that long, it prevents you from doing other things. And, you know, Derek made a note of this. It, you know, prevents you from maybe going to see the comedy show. It may prevent you from going to see one of the playlist productions, the Broadway style type show. Or if you just enjoy playing in the casino or listening to live music, any of those things. You're prevented from doing those things because you're waiting longer for service. And so that is why that is a second big concern of mine heading back into cruising this summer. So hopefully that won't be the case when I go on the Mardi Gras in less than 2 weeks now, but that is a concern. So let's get on to the third one. You can start to see a trend because all of these kind of tie into one another, because my third big concern is embarkation. All right, and again, you can go back to staffing. You know, if they're having a difficult time, you know, with debarkation, then that's going to hinder embarkation as well. In other words, if they're having a hard time getting everybody off the ship and that managed correctly, then, you know, that's going to delay when people can embark and board the ship. That's happened to me already. My wife and I, Anita, we've gone on a couple cruises. We were on the Carnival Valor and we were on the Carnival Glory, and in both cases, our cruises were delayed. They were delayed before we could get back on the ship. So, you know, it happens. I understand. It's you know, sometimes it might be a mechanical issue. Sometimes it might be, you know, a health reason why, you know, debarkation was slowed, but sometimes it might have to do with staffing, obviously. And, you know, and the embarkation staff is, you know, not much different than any other staffing shortage that we have in the United States going on right now. So, you know, you get all excited about cruising and everything, and you get that appointment time. And, you know, I have an early appointment time for the Mardi Gras, and I've never been on the Mardi Gras, so I'm super excited to get on this ship as soon as I can. And I don't want to get to the port, and then all of a sudden, wah, wah, your boarding time has been delayed for 2 hours. We apologize for the inconvenience, blah, 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 blah. You know, so that is a worry of mine. I hope that's not the case. I've seen good and I've seen bad. I've seen reports of, oh, you know, the embarkation was great and, you know, we got in, it was nice and smooth. And then I've heard, you know, the other side where it's just as bad as well. So that is a concern. Well, let's go on to number 4. Okay, so many of you that are subscribed to my channel are Carnival cruisers as well. Not all of you, and thank you for those of you that aren't specifically Carnival for following my channel and subscribing, because this does really apply across the entire cruise industry. This particular video, these concerns are, you know, transferred very easily from one cruise line to the next. So I appreciate you watching me, even though I'm primarily a Carnival cruiser. And the premier ship on the Carnival cruise line industry, for those of you that don't travel Carnival, is the Carnival Mardi Gras. And I am boarding her for the very first time, less than a year from her inaugural sailing. I'm so excited. June 25th will be my first cruise on the Carnival Mardi Gras. And yeah, just super excited. Now, one thing I've heard, well, not just one thing, a lot of things I've heard have been related to the food on the Carnival Mardi Gras. And for the most part, they've been exceptional reviews. You know, for example, I can't wait to put this big mouth of mine on a Shaq's Big Chicken, okay? Because that has been major hyped. But I've also seen so many videos now that, you know, I've seen enough videos where people are like, yeah, you know, not that good. Not specifically talking about Shaq's Chicken, but, you know, the food in general. You know, I've heard really good reviews about Rudy's, you know, seafood grill, for example, on Mardi Gras, and then I've heard really bad reviews about Rudy's. And sometimes it's from the same group, same cruise creator, whatever. You know, one time they're like, oh, you know, this was really good the first time we had it, and then I had it this time, and then like, look, it's not so good. and they give a demonstration of why. I heard sometimes, again, getting back to the serving, that the service is very slow. Again, that might be because of the shortage of staff. So that's not necessarily related to the food and how good the food's going to be, but I am a little worried about the food living up to the hype, and that it's going to be as good as some people are saying it will be. So I'm hoping, but that's just a small concern of mine, that it will live up to the hype. So let's get on to my fifth and final concern heading into cruising for this summer 2022 cruising season. Okay, so my fifth concern will not be a concern for all of you, unless you're cruising for the first time. If you're cruising for the first time, then even the smaller cruise ships to you are going to seem massive. I remember, when we did our first cruises, going into the atrium lobby, no matter what ship it was, it's like, wow, you're looking around and like, this is a ship, and I mean, look how big it is. When you go into a cruise ship for the first time, it doesn't even seem like it's a ship. I mean, it's so big, there's so many levels, everything else like that. How can this be a ship? It looks like a little hotel, or not even a little hotel, but a big, massive hotel, right? It's a hotel on the waters, or a little city. Now, keep in mind, the Mardi Gras, which I'll be going on, is way bigger than any other Carnival ship out there. And I've been on the Carnival Vista, I've been on the Carnival Horizon, which are, newer ships of Carnival, the newest ships, I should say, along with the Carnival Panorama, the Vista class, prior to the Mardi Gras. So those were their biggest ships. And now I'm going way up in class to the Carnival XL class, which Mardi Gras is the first of 3 XL class ships that Carnival will introduce to its fleet. And I've had friends that have been on the Mardi Gras, Lido Tito, my friend, who's also an Islander, and him and his wife Michelle, Funnelheads, Andrew and his wife and young son, they've been on there, and they've been on there a lot, actually. And one of the things that he said to me that concerns me maybe in a good way, and that's why I say these aren't all necessarily bad, but he said, talking about Andrew from Funnelheads, which is another channel if you want to go check them out. And they do a great job, and especially if you like Mardi Gras content, he's got a lot of it. So yeah, feel free to go check him out. You will see a lot of Mardi Gras content. But he said, you know what, we were on it for 3 weeks, and I feel like that was just the right amount of time to be able to enjoy and see everything. Okay, now I will say, I have the fortune and blessing to be cruising on her for 2 weeks. But he said I would probably need 3 to really fully experience the Mardi Gras and all its glory. So I feel like, I'm gonna have to push. I'm gonna have to push to get everything in and to really enjoy the Mardi Gras, for all that there is to enjoy. So again, that's probably a good concern, like, hey, that's not really that big a deal or a bad concern, but it is, because I want to experience all of it. I don't want to get off that ship and say, oh, I wish I did this, or oh, I wish I did that, or oh, why didn't I eat here, or why didn't I go to this bar and have that drink? I want to do it all in the time that I'm on that ship. So that is a concern. Now, let me end by saying that we are insanely close to 1,000 subscribers. And if you are not subscribed yet already, please hit that subscribe button. We try to get at least 1 video out, sometimes 2, sometimes 3 videos out a week. And when we're on a cruise, we do daily vlogs, and I'm going to be doing a lot of lives. So if you are going to be going on the Mardi Gras anytime in the next 3 months, I'm going to be doing a ton of Mardi Gras content. I'm going to be doing Mardi Gras lives. I'm going to be doing Mardi Gras vlogs, restaurant reviews, bar reviews, drink reviews, food reviews. I'm going to be doing all that stuff. Not only that, but then we have the Horizon coming up later in the summer, which I'll be doing as well. So hit that subscribe button. Help us get that little final push over to 1,000, and I will be so appreciative of that. And thank you for watching this video. And this was the downer video. I hope it wasn't too much of a downer, but we actually have a part 2, which is going to be the 5 things I'm most excited about going back to cruising in just a couple weeks. So I hope you'll join me for that in part 2. The filming of this video was done on Saturday, early evening, and I'm going to put part 2 out on Sunday. So if you're watching this on Saturday, be on the lookout for that part 2, which is 5 things I'm most excited about to get back to cruising. And that's really all I have for you, coach cruisers out there and hopeful coach cruisers. I appreciate you being there, and we will talk to you later.
I just can't get away from a good time.